What up, Scorpio? It's your girl Kelly coming at you straight out of Boston from the Queen Bee Tarot. So I'm here to finally do your end of month, beginning of October reading for you guys. Sorry I'm a little bit late. It's been a little hard on recovery road over here. But your girl's making it through all the bumps. So I feel like for you guys, um, you're more in your emotions than usual. You are someone's coming back and you're not particularly happy about that. I feel like it's karmic circle. I feel like it's definitely something that's toxic. You're not sure because you feel like this person is really wishy-washy on what they want all the time. They're back, then they're gone, then they're back. I keep just feeling like a disconnect and then a return and a disconnect and a return. And I felt a return coming this time. So it's kind of like you have that feeling for them, but you're like on the fence on whether or not what to do with it. And they may just contact you out of nowhere. This seems to be the pattern with you guys. So there's going to have to be a decision that you make, and you need to make that decision from your logical standpoint instead of from that karmic feeling standpoint. I feel like there's a huge change, like a shedding of old skin. That's what I'm getting, is like a shedding of old skin, transformation, like a lot of transformation. And maybe that's why I feel like you're all up in your feelings the way that you are, is that you're shedding. It's like a giant transformation for a lot of you. And it's not just you. Every sign is going through some form of it. And right now, the planets have kind of created a time slow. So it seems like everything's just going really slow. So if you're waiting for that job promotion, it's going to take a while. If you're waiting for a new relationship to take off, it's going to take a while. This is for those of you who don't have this karmic build-up returning back into your life. Again, you need to look at the logical standpoint and decide what's bringing you closer to your destiny and what's taking you further away. So, balancing your emotions is really, really important. Balancing your chakras, balancing everything right now. Your thing right now to learn is balancing so that you can in turn make decisions from a logical standpoint instead of an emotional one. As an Aries, I tend to make them in the heat of the moment in my emotions as well, so I can understand the need to learn this lesson. What else do I have for you guys intuitively? I mean, I get the feeling that this person that's coming back, you don't love them, and you also don't really trust them. So I think your decision's made. It's just that you need to get away from the emotional standpoint and go logical, like I was saying. I'm not getting too much more from other than that, but I will say this. I was kind of surprised this week, and my super deck. This is 2 decks mixed together, and it's very, very, very powerful. It hasn't made a peep. I've been shuffling and shuffling and shuffling since January. It hasn't spoken out at all. And then this week, suddenly, it wanted to read somebody, and I heard it loud and clear. Now, this is a big old deck, and it's really hard to shuffle. So it's taken me months of shuffling, getting used to it, and it's literally brand new. It's spread 2 people now. But it's interesting because this deck seems to be calling out a lot. It wants to be heard. It wants to be loud and proud. So you guys are going to kind of see something new coming out. This is my mega deck, you could say, for a mega reader. So you are going to see this coming out. Instead of the angel cards, you're going to see gods and titans and goddesses and sirens mixed together. I needed something very, very complex to read that I didn't quite feel I wanted a tarot deck for, because of that. You guys know this is my favorite deck. So when I was searching way back when, and I saw that, I was like, huh, it's a brother and sister deck. That could work. And so I did. I bought both of them and I actually mixed them together. And they are very hard to shuffle. They're so big. But, so there is an offer for some of you. Okay, so I mean, general readings. That's all I can say. You know, take what you can, leave what you can't. I get the point. I mean, writing in the comments that didn't apply to me. Well, it is a general reading. It's not going to apply to everyone, although lately it's been applying to more people than I care to admit. Actually, I have been picking up crazy energies with this concussion and this surgery, and so I've been able to really read the masses. It's been very interesting. But, you know, when asking for the spirits and the ancestors, in my case, young and old, to guide me, and I'm getting information kind of from all over the place. It's a little bit weird. So, you know, I'm just asking for the end of September, beginning of October general reading for Scorpio. It's 2018. So I just noticed just kind of heavy emotional energy over you guys, you know, of someone coming back that you really aren't sure of. For some of you that may be good, maybe you've been waiting for this person, and for some of you not so good because you've moved on, and that seeing them would bring up kind of old feelings and you're not really sure how to feel about that. So let's get flipping here and find out what's going on. But I can see for some of you, you guys are getting in. Some of you have a new love in your life. And I'm seeing it's yourself. Scorpio, you're doing a lot of self-reflecting and learning the lessons that you need to learn. You're taking less of this standpoint and, you know, coming up in the negative, all up in your emotions and not dealing with it well, becoming hypersensitive to things, kind of lashing out. Instead of being that person, you guys have stopped being defensive. You're coming out of this, and I see more of this. It's a self-love. It's, you know, completely loving yourself, which is not a very easy task to do for anybody. I don't care what sign you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care if you're fucking green. Loving yourself is not an easy task, especially when you have to come face to face with the mistakes that you've made in the past. So good work on this, because this is the time to start learning those lessons. There is a time slow with the planets for a reason. And we do still have a couple in retrograde, as well as Chiron retrograde in Aries. I don't know what day that ended. I'd have to look all that up again. But it seems like the universe has created this time slow, and all of this time, like, we're all agonizing, like, when is this going to end? Some of you may be involved in a legal battle, something to do with some money. Okay, that's weird, because I actually think I wrote that down for you guys. I did. Having a little trouble with my memory since I smashed my head. So I have to start writing things down. But it, you know, I put something there like maybe some job troubles. But here I'm seeing also some legal stuff. Maybe you're having a lawsuit against your job. What I'm seeing here, and this is weird because I don't usually pick up on this stuff, I'm seeing the legal system involved, definitely, especially with this card as well, and the Rush Messenger. With this card, I feel like some of you are facing like minority challenges in your job, treating you badly for being a minority. Been there. But it's definitely got to do with your job, and I feel like there's really some underhanded things going on there. And you have a good case against them. I think you've actually got them kind of running scared. You have a good case against them. But it has to do with minority. Something minority. I don't know if somebody was racist and said something to some of you, or some of you there's a huge layoff coming, or you may have just been laid off. Wow, you guys are getting it this month too. You guys are getting it like Aries. We've been getting our ass handed to us for like years. But something to do with your job. I see a legal situation with your job, and I'm seeing like a close-up of a couple of you with minority issues, like where you go to work and things are said that aren't particularly okay. And it's just, accepted in the workplace because nobody speaks their mind. Well, you know what? I say what everyone else is thinking. So let's just put it out there. There's some issues there with some racism in somebody's job. This may not be a lot of you. This may be a collective, but I'm seeing it. I'm definitely seeing it. And I'm definitely seeing that you have a good case against them. It was blatant. Like, I get the feeling that it was very blatant. And no one really cared. No one really did anything. But now that it's an issue, I feel like there's a panic. Please leave comments below because this energy is all over the place. And when I said you guys are learning new lessons, you guys are starting to learn how to navigate around the false offers in life. You guys are getting smarter about who you allow into your space. You're getting smarter about cleaning your space after people leave and not leaving their karmic baggage behind. You're seeming to become more aware spiritually. You're definitely ascending, but you're aware now of these offers around you that were false before. You're kind of coming to that light. You're coming to the moon, and I feel like you're kind of coming to the moon to see what it hides. It's hiding these offers, and you can't really see what they are too good. They just look like cups. There's really nothing coming out of them. What are they all doing there? What are all these offers? And I feel like what's hidden in the contract. So some of you may be coming into a business or something where, because I just got contract and something hidden in the contract. Make sure you're reading the things you're signing, some of you. Because that could be some legal trouble as well. Man, my energy is just all over the place. Be careful of some contracts you're signing. Make sure you're actually reading it for what it is. If you have to get a lawyer to look over a contract, make sure that you do that. Even if it's a free lawyer, something. For some of you, this is the time not to travel. It's like the time of all of your plans going wrong. Both of my travel cards are here. And they're both in the reverse. One right after the other. The 2 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. I always view these as my travel cards because if you look at them in the distance, this guy, you can see he's got the globe here. He's looking out. He's ready to go. You've got the bird here symbolizing like a freedom. And then here you've got the ships. So these are kind of my 2 travel cards, and they're flipped. So I feel like there's some of you that were going on a vacation, or going to see somebody. Going to see somebody. But at the end of that travel is some devastation, or maybe you're already devastated. You were going to go see somebody. Maybe dating someone and you found out something about them. It feels like a man-made connection. I don't see anything so far that tells me this is Yeah, this is a man-made connection. Um, Somebody full of trickery, obviously. And I feel like you found out and got out before it got really bad, but it looks like you're pretty devastated by that. This was someone you really thought that you meshed well with. I feel like you, um, how would I say? You kind of felt like they were a soulmate, but when you create man-made connection out of loneliness, you have to recognize the difference and that that's a bad habit. This is a card of very bad habits and letting them go. And so, where we're all in reverse here, except for the devastation card, I'm feeling like you're still in that phase, but you're realizing that maybe this is a bad habit, is creating relationships with people out of loneliness. And then when the right people come by, you can't do anything because you're stuck in a man-made relationship. You can't be with a soulmate if you're already with somebody else, right? Can't learn your lessons from that soulmate to get to your divine masculine if you're already with the wrong person. Wow, you guys got some stuff going on. Some of you, divorce. I see heavy divorce energy here. And it wasn't, for some of you, it wasn't that there was a third party. It was the person's lack of view changing. Like they couldn't change their viewpoint. They couldn't meet you halfway. They couldn't agree with you to meet you halfway. It was like, it became to the point where it was like almost a control thing. It was like my way or the highway. They just couldn't wrap their frame of mind around like mediating and, you know, really getting in the problem and meeting halfway and talking about it. So there was love there, but it was just very immature. It was very, very immature. And it's kind of sad because that love was there. It was real. But just the way this person couldn't meet you halfway, could have been a long-term partner, could have been married. But this messenger just tells me like it's very, very slow coming, like just really immature. And it's a sad reason to get a divorce when somebody's pride is more important than the love of their life. They married you because they're the love of your life and you're the love of their life. So when someone can't put aside viewpoints to save a relationship, that's really sad. And I hate to see that. And I'm sorry that some of you really are going through that because I can't stand seeing that. When pride becomes more important than the people you love, you got a problem. So let's find out what's going on for you guys in the next bit. Alright. And then Super Deck comes out. You guys haven't seen that one yet. I'm telling you, because I'm not capable of bending down to get these cards, they're going to keep jumping out. Oh, God. Yes, I hurt. In lots of places. Surgery really hasn't been a fun road for me. But my scar is starting to heal. So hopefully the rest of me will heal too, right? Right. Okay, so right away we got Annabelle. There's no balance there and there's a lack of communication. So you got something going on here with someone where there's a lack of communication, you're out of balance. But you have 2 victory cards. Okay. The feeling that they're giving me is that maybe these are family members or friends that were no good for you, and you cut off that communication. They weren't balancing you. They weren't helping you, kind of like energy vampires, and you just cut off communication, relationships with people. or they cut off with you because of your behavior. I can be picking up, this is a general reading, you or your partner. Please remember that, and then take what you need and leave the rest. It looks like for you, it was a victory. You have 2 victory cards here. Financially, maybe they were draining you. But definitely in energy, they were draining you. So there was definitely someone here that you had to cut off, and it looks like a good thing. Whoever that was, you needed to stop giving them money. It was a really bad cycle. How is that possible? Okay, so every single card that I just pulled came up again, except the only difference is the King of Cups is upright in there. These cards have a sense of humor. I'm trying to give y'all a reading, not be on repeat. Nobody wants to hear the same shit twice. Just saying. Alright guys, let's get the energy for Scorpio. No more jokes. Let's get the energy for Scorpio. End of September, beginning of October 2018, please. Thank you very much. You want the whole truth and nothing but the truth. First card I pulled again. And look who's at the bottom of the deck. It seems you're back in balance since you cut those people off. Could be somebody with a nasty temper. When this card pops out, I don't particularly like it because earth signs in the reverse are very nasty with words, sometimes can be physical. So maybe they appeared in the upright here, but something's not right here. So they're showing love, but when it comes down to their status, financial status, mental status, they're coming in the reverse. Yeah, there's a messenger to let you know, even though that they're coming in and they're presenting this to you. Really, they're this, and there's a messenger here to let you know that they have other options. There's definitely other options there. So for those of you who are dating or interested in this particular person, they're showing up. They're so awesome. They're wonderful. They're too good to be true. They are. I'm sorry. I just call it how I see it. This is a person that puts up too good to be true, and they really are. Because here's a messenger to let you know that not only is he really immature in the upright, but he's also got other options on the side. So don't put your eggs in this basket. Or don't let him put his eggs in your basket. Whichever one you go for. Never know these days. Okay. You guys got a pretty strong warning here about listening to your intuition. Either you've just had a tower moment or you're going to. Why can't anybody's reading be good this month? Honestly. I see here that, here we are again. I told you the same cards keep coming up. So you guys are getting a serious warning here about changing some really bad habits. You need to come, you're being stubborn here and not wanting to change these habits. And I've had this conversation with just about every sign to let them know you have to change these habits or the universe will force you. It will take everything you own. So if your habit is materialism and you have lots of material and things like that, the universe will literally take it all from you and you will be starting from scratch. You don't have a choice in this. So I hope that you will listen, but by the looks of this, you guys, some of you are going to have a tower moment where the universe is going to force you to listen. With me, it was slow down, and I didn't get that lesson. I didn't get it. Even after my surgery, I still didn't get it. So it's been a really, really rough surgery, recovery, whole thing for me, because I still didn't get the message until I finally really got the message. And we'll just leave that alone. But it looks like there's no new beginning here for you. Like the universe is going to pull you in and stop you. So whatever it is you're doing, take a really good long look at it and change it before the universe does it for you. And I know that you know whatever this is. The universe will tell you and tell you and tell you and tell you. If you don't change it, fucking changes it for you. And trust me when I say it's better your way. You don't lose everything your way. You may lose your ass a little bit, but you know what? It's better than losing everything. That's your lesson. Like, heed it. Take warning. Like, change it, or the universe is going to pull the rug out from underneath you. And with the energy that we have going on right now, where we're all waiting for stuff, everything's just kind of stopped at a standstill. The last thing you want when that energy starts just going again is the rug being pulled out from under you. Think about how that will feel. Like you're in this real kind of slow energy walking right now, and then the rug just pulls. Boom, down you go. Everything goes with you. You need to start listening to your intuition. You need to start listening to your intuition. There's a situation here, and I'm trying to make sense of it. Maybe someone... Yeah, it's got to be this person from your past. You have fond memories with them, but you really need to listen to your intuition on this. The Hermit card, the Virgo card, upside down. You really don't know what you want. Do you want your current relationship, or do you want the person who keeps coming back in that karmic cycle? You need to figure that out. It's saying here you're not taking time out to think about everyone's feelings involved, and you need to. This is the card of mental clarity. This is the Virgo card of the minor arcana, we'll say. In reverse, next to the Virgo card of major arcana. So you've got both of the take a step back inside yourself cards, and you got them in reverse. You are way out of balance. You are not listening to your intuition. You may have, vague fond memories with them, but if you're with someone else, it's time to move on. Close the karmic circle, keep it moving. You know the karma from that. Okay, Scorpio, that was heavy. Leave the comments on that one, because that was just energy flying everywhere, and I'm getting collective energy from kind of all over the place, and ever since cracking my noggin a few times here, I don't think this concussion's going away. So, I think it's permanent right now. For a while. Possibly forever. I'm going to let you guys have a taste of the new deck. So, Power Deck is coming out, and what do you want Scorpio to know for the month of October 2018? What do you want Scorpio to know for the month of October 2018? Okay, so, sorry, you've got Luke here for skill. Some of you may be thinking about going back to school, maybe nurse practitioner, maybe, I don't know why nurse practitioner just came in, just what came to mind, maybe your PsyD, maybe your PhD. Some of you are thinking about a doctorate. Some of you are thinking about a master's for the pay grade upgrade. And this card talks about studying skill deeply. It's a card of ultimate concentration, of mastering a skill, we'll say. For this, I always see school. So some of you, there's a particular number of you that are in the medical field. You want to go back for maybe your nurse practitioner's license or something like that. Some of you who are in the psych field want to go back for your PsyD or your PhD. Some of you just to go back. You're school junkies like me. You've got Mach for justice. Here we go with the justice card again. So we've got justice showing up for a second time. This tells me that some of you have really got some court cases going here, whether it be family court, criminal court. Wow, criminal court. But for the justice card to show up twice, there's definitely a lot of legal issues here. Criminal court, family court, some could be federal court. Definitely family court, though. I see, divorce, like I said, from a lack of being able to meet your partner halfway or them meet you halfway. You've got Pele, Hawaiian goddess, and she's purpose. So all of this is happening for a purpose. You've got divine timing intervening here. So if your court cases are slow, if your school paperwork is slow, there's divine timing in there for everything. And it's understanding that purpose later. It's learning that lesson later. That Pele reminds you that there's a purpose for these things happening right now. And you need to remember that. Also, some of you have turned to spirituality looking for a divine purpose. And that's a really big change in your life. Some of you may have went from religious to spiritual, and you're trying to figure out creation and kind of how that started and where it began. You don't quite understand it, and I feel like it's turned you away from religion and more towards spirituality because you can't explain the way. I'm getting some weird ass energy tonight. The way creation began doesn't make sense to you. I get a lot of you are turning from religion to maybe spirituality. It's showing that you guys have a lot of obstacles right now with Ganesha. Ganesha is, I believe, Hindu. He is the card of obstacles, and we all are going through this right now where we are learning to work through these obstacles. We are learning how to work around them. We're trying to figure out anything in this time slow, this feels like everything's on slow motion, to get through this. And so this period should only last for another month or two, which sounds like forever right now, if you ask me. But by November, we should be moving. So just know that with these obstacles, they're hard as hell. They're hard AF. I know. But it's worth it because you're learning the karmic value and the lessons. The last we have is Achilles, confidence. It's letting you know through all of this to have that confidence that divine timing is at hand here. Whether it be school, creation, changing over from religion to individuality into spirituality, the obstacles you're going through, the being all up in your emotions, even more than when you normally are, the purpose, the justice, all of it that's going on there. Just have the confidence to know that you will learn the karmic lessons and you will get through it. And your bottom of the deck card is Rhiannon. Self-trust. There it is again. Following your intuition. You guys need to stop questioning your intuition so much. You're a water sign. You have the best intuition there is. Stop questioning yourself. Start trusting yourself. This is your girl Kelly coming at you straight out of Boston for the Queen Bee Tarot. I'll check you later. Leave comments below. Comments. Any information you need if you want to get a hold of me, personal reading, tarot reading, spiritual guidance, in the box below. I'll catch y'all later.